Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the next part of the sculpting mid-phase of this ever-broadening Yoshitaka Mono mobile platform project, where we've kind of really had three separate projects in one. We had the making the globe part was one project, we had making the platform part was another project, and now making him here is the third project. When it all goes together, it's all going to look really good. And actually, off camera, I finally did stick him up and kind of mocked it up onto the platform itself, and it changes everything. He looks freaking good. Looking forward for you guys to finally see what it looks like, but oh yeah, it looks nice at that stage. That said, I really haven't done any work whatsoever on this. It's been several days now. I'm kind of getting towards the end of the week again. And I've done nothing towards actually fixing this stuff, kind of putting the folds on here or hardening any of this. But it's not going to matter today, because today is going to be all about the face. And getting Mid's face here, kind of trying to see what we can do on this one. I'm crossing my fingers this is going to work out well. I'm not 100% sure, just because the scale is so much smaller than the other guys I've done. I'm not sure if my tools that I have are small enough to get the effect that I want. So if you watched either of the other projects I've done, the modus operandi I use on this is I'm going to make sure the camera is out of my way so I can kind of see what I'm doing. But I'm going to make kind of a flat face on top, and then we're going to harden that, then put the head behind it and neck and come down, harden that, and then put the hair on top of that. So today's primary goal is get this face going. I'm not sure how long this is going to take to do. So depending how well this goes, we'll see where we go from there. But that said, if we go back to at scale, this is going to wind up being his head. From chin to top of his head is approximately 1 inch tall, and he's approximately 5/8 of an inch wide. So let's block ourselves out a piece like that. So there's chink, chink. So that's going to be from top to bottom. Let's get you out. Let's get you out, and we want about 5/8 wide. So let's see, so if we have 1/2 inch, if 1/2 inch is approximately the center, that's going to be a strong quarter on each side. So it's going to be roughly there. And where's my quarter? There. Roughly there. Yeah, let's do the same thing down here. If I have my 1/2 inch mark is kind of in the middle, just kind of making sure we're generally kind of straightish. Again, this doesn't have to be exact at this stage. It's just blocking out a rough form to give a rough idea on how big his head is going to wind up being. So from chin to top of forehead, that's the size we're kind of dealing with. But that's not the form is going to be, because this looks like a Minecraft character in a way. Except it's a rectangle, so I guess it's 100% not a Minecraft character. Now, we only have 2 images to go off of. I have this guy, who's kind of nice profile. And we have this one, which is a 3/4 view. So from what I can tell, it's kind of a very much of a kind of a baby face going on. It's not any really hard edges. We don't have like a hard chin down on the bottom. Let me go and put. So we're just gonna soften up the base here, but it's not going to stay super hard. Let's just assume that I'm not symmetrical at all. All right, we can get ourselves a little bit more symmetrical. But yeah, I'm just going to give. We can come down a little bit, but I don't need it to be a super hard edge down here. And top, I don't really care about. I'm probably actually going to cut a little bit off the top. However, I also don't need this much clay widthwise. That's like at least half his head right there. We don't need that much. Okay, so if we do eyes, if you ever look at eyes on top of your head, you go and you take the approximate midpoint, and there we go. So eyes are going to wind up being approximately down here. We want to center it. We can give it a center line going that way. And that's kind of where we go. Now, interesting thing with his eyes, if you look at the image down here, he's generally, his eyes are like 90% closed, just kind of squinting at his book through those very interesting looking glasses. And again, if we look at this one, and actually, I didn't make a zoomed in version there. We take a look at the zoomed in version here that I have. His eyes are also in that just about closed as well. So I'm not sure if that's going to make life easier or harder, but he basically just kind of squints through those glasses there. And this is where I'm not sure. I'm still going to make the eye socket kind of correct, I think, as it's supposed to be. And I'm hoping the tools I have are small enough to make this work. Because then I'm going to refill this in again with an eyeball in there and just kind of finish it off that way. So let's see. So with this, I want to give a little bit of a forehead. Not much, but I do want to give a little bit of forehead kind of going on here. Kind of up and in. Let's cut the sides off. And faces are the ones where I really haven't had that much problem with it, but they tend to stress me out. Just because I always feel like it's going to turn into a train wreck. But it generally works out kind of well in the end. We can generally kind of see the characters that I want to be. They kind of do feel like what I want them to feel like. So, alright, let's round off the chin area here and the cheek area. And alright, he's got that big kind of brow going. I'm going to do what I can to keep this thing on camera here, but I have a feeling between shadows and my own hands, this is going to be a trial. But we're going to make this through. We feel like I am 5/8. Are we 1 inch? We are 1 inch. It just doesn't feel right. Let's get a little bit off the side here. I may put more back for the cheeks, but for right now, I just want it to come off just a little bit. Okay, and this is going to look probably really rough, and then instantly it's going to look good. So it's going to be one of those types of deals that's going on. So just kind of be prepared for that this session. But it's going to look a little rough. We're going to do some magic, and then it's going to come about, and I feel like I'm missing tools that I want. I will be using some of these guys this time, the little kind of ball tool here, because I can get into smaller areas a little easier. Just to kind of blend some things. Let's bring his nose up here a little bit. I think I want his nose a little bit. He almost has a little bit of a Pinocchio nose kind of going. It definitely sticks out a little more than I think the noses kind of ordinarily do. It's got a little kind of bob on the end there. So let's see if we can give a little bit of that going into this. Whoa, let's also see if we can keep it kind of straight-ish. Might be nice. That's it. I'm in kind of a good mood right now. Workouts and all that went actually really well this week. Tried to add, I realized my Zone 2 stuff has been kind of falling apart, it feels like the last week or so. I was getting better, and all of a sudden it like took a giant step back for like a week and a half. So I'm like, alright, let me go and just do a quick kind of time trial kind of run for half mile, like 3/4 mile thing. And they didn't go that great because I'm not used to doing speed stuff. But then at the very end, I just went and did an all-out sprint just to see how fast I can physically go. because I don't do that often. Because last couple times I did, I kind of hurt my legs. So like, all right, whatever. It's been like a year. Let's go and do it again. Why not? And actually, I think I hit the fastest speed I've done since high school. So I hit a 357 per mile was what I hit on that, which I know doesn't sound that great considering people can run miles faster than that, and I only held it for like a second at that pace before it dropped down a little bit. It wound up being just a 100-yard dash in the end, kind of distance-wise, held it for like 15 seconds. But I only hit the sub 4-minute mile for like a second of that, but it's enough. I haven't done that type of speed since high school, and I was not a sprinter in high school, so I was a distance guy. So if I can still kind of have that speed, I'm happy with it. And I didn't injure myself this time, so that's a plus. Okay, so we have a smiling face on here, so let's... His face just feels like it's got too much chin. Too much chin going on. Let's bring that back. If I'm a little short on the head side of things, that's actually 100% fine because I'm going to be adding the hair and stuff on top of that. So if we wind up a little bit less than the inch like we are right now, that is actually 100% fine. We also finally finished off the deck project we had started before winter began, which got called off once we got like 6 inches of snow or something like that. It came in back in December, and it was like, well, that's the end of that project so far. So we finally got back over to the house and finished that one. So getting all kinds of good things going right now. All right, so what do I want? He has... Both images have just like a little bit of a smirk thing kind of going. So it's almost kind of like Kai's look, it seems like. Just a little bit of a smirk. It doesn't need much. His profile view doesn't have much of a chin. His other view has a little something, so I'm just going to add a little bit of a chin, but not much. I guess if I'm going to do that, I should probably do it symmetrically. And I think that's probably more than I need. He is going to want some kind of cheeks going on. A little bit of cheek action would be nice. Now, I have no idea if this is going to work out well until we get like the entire head with hair on here. Just I think the lead up of the nose here wants to come in just a little bit and then back out towards the forehead. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yes, I'm kind of now in the mood to just go out to like the local track and just like do a 200-yard dash or a quarter-mile dash, quarter-mile like just time trial and just see what I can do. I don't know why I'm in that mood. I'm just like, also I'm in a sprinting kind of mood. I haven't had that kind of mood in a long time. It's like I just want to see what I can do. I mean, I hit a pace that I haven't hit in 25 years. Let's see what else we can do with that. Can I hold that a little bit longer? Does it not want to hold a little bit longer? Is my shadow constantly getting in the way of everything? I feel like my shadow is getting in the way. Alright, so we're getting... You know what, let's stick you on here. Let's see how... Oh, it's not going to want to zoom in that far. Yes, at least the eyes are in the right place. That's the important part. The mouth shape, I feel like, wants to go down just a little bit more. And then up. A little more of a playful kind of smile. But again, if the eyes are going to wind up being closed in the end. I do feel this image has some of that little bit of cheek kind of going on there. So let's maybe see if we can add just a little something. I don't want to put too much. Oh boy. Oh, nope, not all of it. My goodness, no, we don't want all of that. Alright, well this is definitely going to be a thing. Alright, so if we have that, we have... no, too much smile going on. Too much smile going on here. It's got to be a smirk, not a smile. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? No. No, no, no. Round this off. Let's see if we can fix this. I feel like everything is in shadow right now. Little too much, little too much. We can shave some of that off. Alright, we're gonna get this. Alright, come on. Work with me, work with me. I will get to the eyes eventually. I just want to get a little bit of this cheek stuff kind of going first. I think that's actually better. That gave a little something. Now it doesn't have too much. Don't really need lips on there per se. So let's see what we can do on eyes. That is way too much stuff. Because we're going to be reintroducing these in, and then once it's reintroduced in, we kind of need to close the eyes a little bit. Okay, well now he has like a black eye going. That's kind of cool. Not really what I'm going for, but we instantly do have a mostly closed eye, which is actually kind of okay. Alright, that's actually, I don't think, terrible. Now, once I get the glasses put on, which, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure how I'm doing the glasses yet. But once I get that in front of things, that might change how this all kind of looks and feels. Alright, there we go. Oh, he is squinting so hard. He is squinting so hard right now. I think that's not right. Oh no. Alright, time to do a little fixing here. Because overall he's just going to be just kind of peeking out. And I think a lot of that's going to be helped on the paint side of things when I get to that. But alright, so we do have kind of a rough-ish looking something. He has a little bit of cheeks. He has just a little bit of chin in here, which I want to bring this chin back up a little bit. Yeah, head kind of comes down a little. So we want to bring this up. Alright, definitely has that I have something in my eye kind of look. Let's give you that little bit of a smirk back. It's missing some of that. Yeah, now if you've never dealt with faces before, it doesn't look like what it's going to necessarily look like unless you have like an extremely kind of unique kind of profile or something going on with your face structure. Something like the Fjarzine Saga of Tanya the Evil, something like that kind of face would be a very kind of standoff and you know exactly what it is. But if you have kind of something like this, which is a little more, it is a little more of a generic-y kind of look to it, then it may not look like much until we get to the paintings, or not painting, get the hair and whatnot kind of on here. All right, let's round that off a little bit. Because really, if you just do his hair is kind of a mess. Let's see if I could mock up just a little bit of hair just to kind of see what this is. This is not how I'm going to be doing hair in the end, so don't take anything from this. This is just kind of a quick really kind of down and dirty. Wind up with, again, it's not a good hair thing, but at least it gives a rough-ish idea of what we're going to be kind of dealing with. And I don't think that's necessarily correct, but I don't think it's super far off. What happens if we add some of these glasses kind of on here? Now, I'm not going to be doing the glasses out of clay, but I don't have whatever I will be doing glasses out of on me at the time. At the time? Well, right now. Right now is the time. So, what happens if we just kind of... Here we are. It's some of the most anime-looking character we got. Heck yeah. I know the camera doesn't like zooming in that far, but I think we're not too far off on that. I think we're in range. It looks hilarious. I love it. Oh, this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Doesn't really figure have that. We're gonna have kind of ears back here. We're gonna have We will definitely have a character going at the end of all of this. Yeah, look at that. We in there. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little. You know what, I'm just gonna take that, put you on the side right now. Just kind of call this one for modeling on this part Dunzo. I'm gonna take that off. I see we're at 25 minutes, so I'm gonna hard that off camera. The next time we're gonna go ahead and do the head, the neck, and all of that. And while we have a few extra minutes on here, maybe I can come back and actually finish what I started on this part and just save that for later, because I didn't really do folds on here correctly because I'm a derp. And if we have an arm outstretched like this one, the fabric's going to pull across this way like we have there. If the arm is coming down like it is over here, we're going to have folds coming down from this in the underarm that I didn't put on because, again, I guess one of the things I don't like is just having dead time on here. And so if I can avoid dead time, I just kind of do stuff to kind of keep progressing on things. And to the detriment on that, it means I don't necessarily just kind of visualize well sometimes how certain aspects are supposed to work. So we're gonna see if we can fix some of this. Yeah, so it's one of those, I don't do folds enough, just like have the instant, oh, I'm doing this, bam, I got it kind of mentality. But at the same time, I've done them enough that I should have an idea of what I'm doing. It might be helpful. So let's see if we can get some of this kind of in here. Which is good. I've been busy this week, so I haven't really gotten too much of this. So I was hoping to get farther ahead on this clay modeling stuff and be like a week ahead at this point, so that I can kind of catch up on the platform stuff, because I still have a bunch of platform things I would like to, that I was hoping to have finished by this stage, so that once the clay is done, we can just get on to the final part, and that would be that. But haven't really done that yet. So we might have like a session or so of just kind of catching back up to where I'm supposed to be. I still have the astrolabe arm still isn't fully finished. I still have a little bit of painting to do on the legs to kind of give it the camouflage look. So depending how this weekend goes, if I can get to those, that would be fantastic. If I can't, there might just be a little bit of that. But now, after seeing him on there, there's now hope in sight, and I'm feeling a lot better on this whole thing. Even if some of those areas were even if some of those areas are a little bit rough, it's okay. You can kind of come in from that point. Okay, and already that's feeling a little more correct than it was. It's still not perfect, but it's definitely feeling more correct than it was before. That's kind of what I'm going for. Except trying to get into some of these spots is not the easiest. Where's you? Can I get in there with this? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Round that off a little bit. That face is so good. It may or may not be Mid's face, but I'm sorry, that face is so good. It's making me smile. Just looking at this is just making me smile just seeing it. And that's really all I'm going for. You know, at the end of the day, that's all we really want is just, we want to have good times with this. And sometimes you hit that point where it doesn't really matter if it's right or not. It feels like what you want it to feel like. And that's all that matters. Nothing else does. Okay. First thing, let's kind of smooth out some of this stuff. Oh, sorry. Okay. And then with that smoothed. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Also, this doesn't feel like that ever got smoothed down nicely. I do kind of want that to smooth down well. Although that will never be seen because this is 100% going to be up against the globe. Because if he's going back there, you are going to be hard pressed to see any of this side's details. But alright, let's get a little bit of you kind of going. You can come from here, and that can kind of swoosh down. Doesn't need to be the entire length. Doesn't need to be the entire... Stop it. Alright, every time I pull it, it's pulling a little further. But yeah, you're going to come down from this corner here. And just kind of wrap around and do a little kind of pooling down on the bottom. Can I get a little bit of this up in here? Again, we start by kind of overemphasizing what we need, and then we come back and just kind of smooth it out so it doesn't need to be as in your face. Just make it a little bit softer. Do still need to have some of that coming up. I feel like I kind of want some of this coming down and kind of pooling a little bit on the back here as well. So let's get another fold. Like I just said, we're never going to see this part. What am I doing? I'm adding more to it. Why? Because I'm an overachiever. Sometimes. Alright, let's get a little bit of you in here. Can you see anything? Maybe you see an upside down figure. Alright, we got this. We got this. Alright, it seems to be, it's a little much. It's a little much, but... just need to kind of smooth it out just a little. And we definitely want it smoother up at the top. Well, I can bring this down here. I don't know why I'm spending all this time on the back, but we are. And this one kind of comes down the arm. Okay, this time it is definitely 100% in shadow. It's not just me. It's not just me making things up. Alright, smooth that out. Alright, I don't want those two to necessarily hit each other. Gives a little more something for the back. Front's a little better. Just kind of re-stretch this out just a little. Just a little. Alright, once again, for the umpteenth time, let's go ahead and bring this up. Where are we? 37. We're gonna be. It's gonna be a little shorter session this time. I'm not looking towards getting into anything on the face or anything on the rest of the head right now, but actually, the neck is gonna be. Yeah, there we go. We got. Yeah, I'm not going to push this thing too hard into that, but that's generally. At least kind of just. Alright, well, there's our no neck guy. But it looks like a Muppet. Looks like one of Jim Henson's Muppets kind of faces. Yeah, so before next session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to harden this upper body part, going to harden the face, and the next time we're going to start dealing with the head and the hair, and maybe put some more kind of folds down on the back here. I might just keep this as is. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're at that phase now. We should either be done with the modeling part next time or the time after, but definitely speaking, by this time next week, we're going to be painting this part. So, and painting this should go by a whole lot better and a whole lot easier than painting the platform stuff. This just feels to me a lot easier to paint. So, but now we're getting there. We are getting there. He is a character. Oh no. Well, anyway, until next time, enjoy.